Okay, today I'm going to be making my grandmother's famous Spanish rice and Enchilada Verde. I happen to have some leftover Verde salsa, so I wanted to make that instead of your regular enchilada. So anyway, let's start with the Spanish rice. You're going to use, see, a tablespoon and a half of vegetable oil. You're going to heat that up so you can brown your rice. Okay, so let that get heated up, and then we're going to throw in some rice. Okay, so I have 1 cup of just regular rice, and I'm going to put that in the oil, and we are going to brown that. So you want to keep stirring it so it doesn't burn. And you don't want your stove up too high. I'll probably put that at a medium high, but high enough to where you can get it brown. And then you just keep stirring it. And you'll notice when it starts getting brown. So keep stirring it, don't let it burn. Okay, so the rice has been browning for about 8 minutes. Make sure you take your time with it, because obviously you don't want it to burn, because it'll taste like, have a burnt flavor. So next, what I did is I cut up a single tomato. So I'm going to throw in the tomato. I like to do everything with my hands, so excuse my hands, they're definitely clean. So tomato, and then you're going to stir that in. Okay. Then I cut up 2 green onions. A lot of fresh vegetables. It smells really good. So mix that in. Okay, and then I'm going to pour in 2 cups of chicken broth. Like that sound? And I mean, it's always good to use broth instead of water because it gives it a lot more flavor. And what I did is I actually had 1 cup of the rice, and you're going to double the amount of the broth, which would be 2 cups. It's always double the amount of liquid per the amount of rice. So I'm going to bring that back up to a boil. And then in the meantime, I'm going to also add in some garlic salt. So I like to just put a little bit in my hand. I'd say that's about a teaspoon and a half. There's a teaspoon and a half of garlic salt. And then you've got, of course, regular salt. Put in regular salt. And a little bit of pepper. So grind some fresh pepper in there. It's always good to have a really good pepper grinder, which I don't have right now. I don't know why. I think the other one got clogged up, so I had to buy one of the ones that are already made. And then after that, you want to put in a little bit of bouillon. I'd say about 1 teaspoon. I'm going to put in a teaspoon of bouillon. Okay, and then we're going to bring that up to a boil, put a lid on it, and let it cook for about 15 minutes. Now I'm only making a cup of rice, but if you have a big family, obviously you can make more and double your ingredients. Okay, be back in a minute. Okay, so it's just about ready to boil. I'm going to go ahead and put a lid on, turn it down to low on the stove, and then I'm going to set my timer for 15 minutes. And we will have some perfect Spanish rice, which of course you will see plated when it's done. See you in a minute with the enchiladas. Okay, for the enchilada salsa verde, I took some chicken breasts and I actually boiled them in some herbs and some water. And I just used that all seasoning that has, you know, many different types of herbs in it, and then plus added some cumin seed and all of that, and I boiled it until, you know, it's done. And then what I'm going to do is put it in the Cuisinart and, you know, shred it up. Or you can actually buy a rotisserie chicken if you want, the herb roasted rotisserie chicken, which, you know, saves you some time, but you know me, I like to cook my own stuff. Okay, so I have shredded my chicken and I heated up my salsa verde that I had made a few days ago, which of course you can find my recipe on my blog as well. I cut up some cilantro and I cut up some Asiago cheese. So here's the ground chicken, and I poured some salsa verde in there. So I'm going to put the cheese in, and then I'm going to put in the cilantro. I'm going to mix that up, and this is what's going to go inside of the enchilada. Okay, so I mixed all of the ingredients together, the chicken and all the ingredients with the cheese and the cilantro, and now I'm going to stuff the shells, or excuse me, the tacos, which I just heated in the microwave because it is going to get baked. And this makes about 8 enchiladas. So all you do is put the filling in and then roll it up. Just as simple as that. I'll let the other one. So I'm going to make 8 of these, and I'll show you what we do next. Okay, so as you can see, I have rolled them all up and placed them inside a nice baking dish. In the pan, I sprayed it with Pam, or cooking spray, and then I put like a half a cup of the salsa verde on the bottom, that way this doesn't stick. And then I'm going to pour a half a cup of the remainder of the sauce over the top. Just as simple as that. And then I'm going to sprinkle about a cup of cheese on the top so it'll melt all nice and yummy. And this is Asiago cheese, which is, you know, it's a fairly strong tasting cheese, but it's perfect for this. And now I'm going to stick this in the oven. It's going to go in the oven. It's going to go in the oven for 10 minutes, and the oven is preheated at 400 degrees, and I will show you the finished product. Okay, here we have our enchilada salsa verde and our Spanish rice. And does it look good? I can't wait to eat it.